Well, hello everybody. It's been a while since I've made a video and I haven't really got a great deal to report apart from a couple of little issues that I've had with the car. The first one is the overdrive. Now when I tested it, I got it working and I jacked the car up and it appeared to me to be working. The solenoid was clicking in and out and there were no problems. But when I was driving over here into the new garage a month or so ago, I noticed that the overdrive wasn't working. And I've since tested it and it wasn't working. And I noticed that I'd used the original solenoid, which is this little thing I've got in my hand here. I've used the original solenoid on the car in my quest for originality, and it worked, and it still works. But when it was in the car, it didn't seem to want to pull up, and it was getting very, very hot, almost too hot to touch. So I thought I'd just take a minute to show you the inner workings of one of these. Now, my understanding is, from the layman's perspective, that, of course, this is the piston, this is the little bit that moves up and down inside there and pulls the lever, which then activates the overdrive. And that usually is sitting down in a bit of a low position. When it's energized, it pulls in. And this does work. I can't really demonstrate it because I don't have a battery handy apart from the one that's in the boot of the Healey. Underneath here, there is a set of points. This is the little cover, which I've just pulled off. And I'm not sure whether you can see clearly enough if I get that in perspective, but there is a set of points just inside here. And the idea is, I believe there are two sets of windings. One set is designed to pull the piston up, and the other is designed to hold it there. And if you can see, when the piston comes up, there's a little pin inside there in the top, and as it rises, it separates those points, which I hope you can see there. See how they open? And then that obviously connects a secondary circuit which holds the piston up, because it takes a lot more, piston's probably not the right word, but forgive me please, takes a lot more current to pull it into position than it does to hold it there. Now if those points don't separate, the piston piece in the center stays up, but the coil gets very hot. Now I can only assume that this wasn't pulling up properly. I'm not quite sure why, because it certainly works all right out of the car. You can see it's pretty grubby in there, and it was probably not such a good idea to reuse the original solenoid. Probably a pretty dumb idea, but it seemed okay and I thought I'd give it a go. Anyway, I've ordered a new solenoid, which hasn't arrived yet, but hopefully will be here within the next few days. Of course, it meant that I had to pull all the inner workings, the carpet and the transmission tunnel out again, which is a bit of a pain, but that had to be done. The other issue I've had is very strange, and I don't quite understand that, and it's something to do with the brakes, the rear brakes. And as you'll know, if you've been following these videos, I've been struggling a bit to get the brakes working. I've replaced everything. I've put new shoes on there because I thought that might be a problem. Well, I'm not convinced it really is. But I had another little problem, which I'll show you now. I'll just get the camera down and go around behind the car. Okay, well here I am at the back wheel of the car, and you can see these are new shoes that new relined shoes, but there's a very strange problem here, and I'll just show you what it is. As the hub turns, you see that spring there, which is the brake shoe return spring. It is hitting, see that? It is hitting on the hub, and it's doing that on both sides of the car. Now, that is very, very strange, because it wasn't doing that on the way over when I drove it over. I'm sure it wasn't, and I would have heard it. It makes quite a horrible noise, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out why that is doing that. It would appear that they're not the right springs. Maybe somebody in the past has replaced the springs with the wrong ones. They could be ones off an early BN1 or BN2, I'm not quite sure. And it appears that what they should have are these. So I've bought a set of these, which hopefully will alleviate the problem. They'll go in the back there, and you can see that this piece in the center here means that they will clear the hub. But it is a very strange issue, and I don't know how close I can get with the camera, but you can see it hitting quite badly on the boss that runs behind the wheel stud there. So, yeah. Bit of a weird one, that, but we're on the way to fixing it anyway.